Alright, welcome back to the Crazy Leo Plays channel. I'm your host, Leo. We're playing Octopath Traveller 2, and this is where we left off. We just finished the story, second chapter of Casty's path, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to try out that Scent of Commerce mission, and depending on how long that is, we're gonna go most likely up here. No, not up here. Up here to do this cross path. But yeah, let's jump right into it. That's true. She got stronger, so the percentage should be better now. But I'm not gonna do any of that stuff for the time being. I am gonna check my skills. So let's do that. Okay. I'm gonna give her this because that's some. Yeah, that we can work without. The equipping character has a 50% chance to inflict an attribute reducing effect when taking physical damage. Why not? It's not gonna happen very often, but it's worth it. I think I still have the jobs. Yeah, they still have the jobs equipped. Okay, we should be fine there. We will heal everybody. And yeah, I think we should be good now. Let's go. Oh, actually, no, there's one thing that doesn't work. I need to have change party. We need to have Particio in our team, so let's do that like this for now. Let's double check something. Okay, he should be fine. What about skill wise? Okay, he's almost at the 3,000. Let's go ahead and jump into
Huh? The emblem drawn on that card. He can't be.
whose emblem is that?
Is that the crest of the legendary merchant Masood?
Legendary
Come to think of it, he was supposed to hail from around these parts.
merchant Masood.
Masood, the merchant who walked the entirety of both the eastern and western continents. Every merchant worth their salt would give a left kidney to read the chronicles he penned of his travels, the mercantile manuscript. To think I'd have the chance to meet him in a place like this. I need to take a gander at that mercantile manuscript.
Okay, so we're after a manuscript. And it seems like there is healing grip, and that's useful. There's a chest here. I haven't used any of those just yet, but it's locked.
Who are you?
Howdy, you're the legendary merchant Masood, ain't you? Oh, there's something I'm dying to ask you.
It's polite to introduce oneself before shouting questions at strangers, you know.
I agree with that.
Oh, pardon me. Particio, at your service. I'm a merchant.
So? What does Particio the merchant want with a retired old man like me?
Oh, I've heard stories about you ever since I was a chickadee. Like that time you struck a deal with that horde of bandits, or when you saved that little kingdom in the west from famine.
Okay, interesting.
Oh yeah, and when you scuffled with the royal family? That story stuck in my old noggin.
I asked you what you wanted with me. A merchant should know how to get to the point.
That's pretty funny. Get to the point.
Yeah, right again. Sorry, got carried away. I'll cut to the chase. Let me read that chronicle you penned. The Mercantile Manuscript.
No. Now leave.
That's funny. Well, time is money. Straightforward no.
Huh?
Don't make me repeat myself. I have no obligation nor reason to let a nobody like you anywhere near it.
Nobody? Now listen here, that's hurtful. Besides, even a nobody's got a nobody's pride. And if I may
that makes
toot my
sense.
own horn, I've got some merchant chops to my name.
Oh, you do you? Then I'll give you a test. Prove your worth to me, oh nobody of supposed talent.
This is what I'm talking about. You got yourself a deal, fella.
The Masood guy has some
Good.
humor.
As a merchant, there is one treasure I value above all else. Bring it to me.
Huh?
If you profess to be a merchant, the answer should be obvious. Of course, if you think this test unfair, you could just give...
Interesting. I always stock whatever it is my customer's looking for. That's my merchant's creed. I promise, I'll figure out what your treasure is, fella, and bring it right here to you.
I'd very much like to see you try.
The legendary Masood's treasure, huh? I'll need to start by looking for clues. Maybe someone around town knows a thing or two about it. Time to gather information.
Okay, so I guess that's your clue. It's someone around town. It's probably Hikari. Pray call upon me whenever you have a need of my blade. Yeah, I didn't think so. Probably a new face. I've probably seen all of these guys. Yeah, all of these guys are the same. She's new. Masood's daughter. Okay. Daughter of the legendary merchant Masood, she does not resent her father for disregarding both herself and her mother for the sake of his business, but she does not respect him either. She simply resolves never to live the same way he did.
That was very helpful.
Interesting. A fearless, gifted soldier until he suffered a grave wound in battle that left him too terrified to even pick up a sword. He's hoping some liquid courage will keep the fear at bay long enough to see him to the battlefield once more. But it hasn't worked thus far.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's rough. Being afraid of the thing that's defined you for so long. Ooh, strong axe. Equipment. Okay, she already has a strong axe. Okay, whatever, we'll leave that as it is for now. I could try for this. Nope. That didn't work. That didn't work. Woohoo! Sometimes you just gotta
I'll
luck.
take that.
Go with the luck. It's probably best to have. It's either her or Hikari. Remy Agnia. We'll leave that as it is for now, I guess. Actually, let's try our luck for Little Crow. 55%. Damn, that was like first shot. Okay. I got the 55, but I didn't get the 80%. Okay, so we've done
I'll
that.
take that.
That's good. What about him? 15%. I could just buy it off. We don't really need it right now anyways, right? So it's fine. He did set to bring, right? Let's see what they've got. Curious. Whoops, I already got everything from him. Oh, actually I remember there was something I was supposed to do. This guy over here. I already got everything, but I can knock him out. Oh yeah, chess, quartz blade, steel lance, bone mail. Interesting. Alright. Critical. Yeah, bone mail, it's this, okay. I could, instead of the iron mail, I could give her the bone mail, which is what I'm gonna do. We got, what was it, steel lance? It's good for critical, but it brings down evasion, so I'm gonna leave that alone. And the last one was the quartz blade. Brings that accuracy by quite a bit, 55. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that. Actually, now that I think about it, wait 1 second. Elemental attack is 77. Okay, not worth it right now. We'll leave that as it is for now. So we basically just used the bone mail. Ooh, the little crow. I could give that to... I took it and I didn't even use it. Little crow, this one here. It's definitely a good idea to give her the little crow. For now. Maybe Hikari might do better. Speed goes up for her. Let's leave that for now. Alright. I think I know what to do. I think I have to bring her to him. Yeesh, he is pretty strong. Already got all that stuff, that's good. The Great Blade. Skull. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to get those things for sure. Oh shit. That means I'm not gonna be able to take him. That's unfortunate. Whatever. I have to do it anyways.
Let's get to work.
let's get to work. Alright, let's just go.
As promised, I brought you your treasure, Masood.
You did you? Show me.
Your greatest treasure is her, your daughter.
Which would make sense. But I think for businessmen that left his daughter and his wife, I doubt that's what he's looking for, but we'll see. Yeah, I kind of knew it.
Incorrect. Try again.
What?
It is true that many value their family above any jewel or gem. But that is not the answer that I am seeking for this particular test. Better luck next time.
That's gotta be so awkward for the daughter. Yeah, there we go. Awkward.
Tarnation. I was sure I had it.
What is this test that father gave you?
Huh?
Ah, what father meant wasn't his treasure in particular, but what a merchant treasures most. The thing you treasure most as a merchant isn't leaves or sundries, right?
A merchant's treasure.
That's all the hints you'll get from me. Good luck.
What do I treasure as a merchant? Like she said, not leaves or sundries, that's for sure. That's it. My greatest treasure is me.
That makes more sense.
In which case, Masood must feel the same way, too. It's worth a shot, anyhow.
Yeah, for a business person, I think that would make the most sense. I guess I have to go up to him. Okay, I probably have to purchase him 5 grand. Oh, 6. Receive 20% off everything. Yeah, that's definitely worth it.
You want to hire me? What is the meaning of this insult, Mr. Nobody?
I've figured out your treasure, fella. It's you, yourself. You asked me to find the treasure you value most as a merchant. I figure every merchant's got one treasure they set store by above all else. Connections they've built, book learning and experience. All these things are far more valuable than any material object, leaves included. Or am I wrong?
Correct. I'm surprised you got it.
Of course I did. My greatest treasure's the same as yours, after all. Besides, your daughter gave me a friendly push in the right direction. If I couldn't find the answer after all that, I'd have no right to call myself a merchant.
I am honestly astonished that there are still merchants in this world who know how to see to the heart of matters. There have been dozens like you who have come here seeking my mercantile manuscript. Every one of them failed this test and went home empty-handed. I started to think the world had gone dull since I retired. Here, take it.
What's this?
The key to the archive in which I placed my mercantile manuscript. Read to your heart's content.
Yippee! You sure it's all right?
I've grown old. I don't have much time left. When I pass, so too will my greatest treasure, correct? So I might as well pass on a part of that treasure to you, Particio the merchant.
Recognized by the legend.
The sum treasure of those who came before you.
You got it, fella. Thank you.
Mercantile Manuscript Archive Key ×1. You can now peruse the mercantile manuscript in the archives. The records are full of information documented by Masood. You never know what knowledge you may glean about items, equipment, and more. So that was it the whole time. Interesting. I could just steal. Okay, let's take a look. Once a famed merchant who traversed both continents at the time, both land and sea routes were yet undeveloped, so it was no small feat to visit all 8 regions. His effort earned him the repute of a great merchant, but he lost much in the process.
Thank you.
Okay, that makes sense. I think it might be easier just to fight him. Let's go with the mugging.
Hand it over.
I've beaten countless guys like you in my youth. But you're old now.
I like my odds.
Piece of cake. Did I beat him already once or what? Doesn't seem like it. Oh well. We already know that he's weak
Don't mind
against
if I
staff.
do.
Man, this skill is just too good. Okay,
Now
that
then.
did some damage.
Don't mind if I do.
I'm actually gonna... What's it called? Let's stick with 1. I can see my game lagging
Calculations
already.
complete. Don't mind if I do.
41. Wow, that was not as much as I thought it would be.
Damn nobody.
Thinking time. Don't mind if I do.
As long as I keep getting SP, I'm
I
good
need a
with this.
plan. Don't mind if I do.
It's a little repetitive, but we're getting there.
Now then. Don't mind if I do.
Okay, getting less and less, but
I need a plan. Don't
just keep
mind
going.
if I do.
Plan's working. He's getting weaker. We're still getting enough SP
No.
to
Don't mind if I do.
come above. Man, this game is lagging like crazy on my computer.
Don't mind if I do.
31. Alright, I think we're good now.
I need
What
a
I'm
plan.
gonna do is I'm gonna take him out,
Don't
and
mind
then
if I do.
I am going to
Thinking time. Don't mind if I do.
attack with 1 attack. That should take him out
I need a
completely.
plan.
Actually, he still has... I'm not even halfway to his... I might have to use an item. Yeah, I'm just gonna
This one's for
use
me.
that just in case. I'd rather not. Oh wow,
Now then,
that is not right.
don't mind if I do. Thinking time.
That is definitely not right.
Don't mind if I do.
At least so far he's self-sufficient, so that's fine. But I guess what I'm gonna do now is
Feel my...
Let me show you
This.
what I've learned. Pierce them, winds of frost.
25. It's pretty decent damage.
Don't mind
He's
if
still not
I do.
halfway. How much HP does this guy have?
Now then. Don't mind if I do. Thinking time.
I could attack him
Calculations complete.
with the light magic.
I call down the light.
2000 damage. Okay, maybe doing the barrage is my best
Damn
option.
nobody.
Don't
Okay,
mind
he's
if I do.
finally halfway. Okay, we should be good.
I need a plan. Don't mind if I do.
This game is lagging so hard right now. Hopefully the recording is not going to be destroyed.
Feel my
but
wrath.
Indulge me for a moment. You're finished.
nice.
I've gained valuable insight.
Okay, that was one heck of a battle.
A worthwhile endeavor.
Nice, okay. Actually, yeah, let's... Why is it 5,000? It was 5,000 before, no? In any case,
Let's work up a nice sweat.
never thought I'd hit the road again at this age. Alright, who's got skills? Now I need to get to 5,000. She's halfway there. He's almost... And she's way far. Alright, let's take a look at this stuff. Choose a scroll to read. History of Hinioma. Southwest Celestia, where the desert sands stretch as far as the eye can see, and yet hidden among the barren dunes is an oasis, a strip of semi-arid terrain running north and south along the riverlands. Here the soil is fertile, and barley and corn can be grown in relative abundance. Countless wars have been waged over the water and resources of this region, and not a few kingdoms have risen and fallen in this place over centuries. Okay, interesting. It's also here that legends of priestess Hinokagura, the conjurer goddess, have survived and been passed down. It is these tales that lend this land its name, Hinouma. In the eye of the desert sits Sai, a fortress city once known as the Odichi Bastion, once held by the forces of Yu. It was taken by Ku 2 decades ago. Northwest of this can be found Ryu, a well-known traveler stop where information from all across the world eventually settles. One might be surprised that so many blistering short names like Ku and Yu are common to the desert region. Locals say the propensity for brevity is because the longer the mouth flaps, the more sand finds its way in. But the truth of the matter is unknown. That was interesting and well written, I would say. Let's read this. Northwest Celestia is a barren wasteland, a blasted expanse of volcanic rock that resists even the loneliest blade of grass. The few brave souls who eke out their existence here have long suffered the sulfuric winds of Yatsuro and its unstable neighbors. And yet, life always finds a way. Among the rock and stone dwells the Goat, an unusually large breed of goat who subsists on the meager fare of local wheat. Unlike other goats, they exceed bovine in their capacity for producing milk, grow fleece more suitable for cloth than sheep, and even produce extraordinarily flavored meat as well. In all matters of livestock, they outstrip the competition and so have become known as the jewel of the wasteland. The cheese produced from the milk is especially scrumptious and has become a local specialty. As a final note, the volcanic soil conceals a wealth of valuable minerals. Many small mining towns have sprung up here, including the southern town of Rush, established by silver merchant Paps and Roke. Okay. Interesting. So the Wildlands. History of the Leaflands. Western Celestia is home to a small lakeside kingdom of Timberain. Surrounded by great sweeps of verdane forests, this land is rich in natural resources. Thick woodland loams provides fertile ground for agriculture and the seemingly inexhaustible supply of tree fuels, industries such as lumber and paper manufacturing. The small village of Cropdale is famous for its raspberry and peaches. Its fruit pies are widely known to be especially scrumptious. That being said, this rural settlement has an abundance of peach-centric cuisine: peach jam, peach juice, peach salad, peach soup, sautéed peach, fried peach, peach pilaf, steamed peach, to name just a few. Some might say Cropdale has an overabundance of peach dishes, but that's simply because the local just can't decide on a favorite. In the south of this area, one can find the town of Wellgrove, though it has grown wealthy through a brick trade with the resource-poor desert region further south. The disparity in wealth this has created is the seed for ceaseless conflict and turmoil along the border. It's actually interesting that they created this kind of geopolitics stories about trade and resources and things like that. It kind of explains a lot of what's going on in the world right now too. Interesting. Oh wow, this just keeps going, eh? History of the Harborlands. Southern Celestia is home to long tracts of twisting coastlines along which one can find the bustling port of Canabrine. During the age of exploration, roughly 100 years ago, ships launched from this town's pier would discover the sea routes that led to the eastern continent. Canabrine's symbol is its colossal lighthouse, which guides ships from all corners of the world safely into its harbor. Erected roughly 20 years ago by a cadre of engineers who fled the destruction of Yu. It boasts a unique design. Special oars was polished to a mirror sheen and fashioned into reflector plates, and the light it emits can supposedly be seen all the way in New Delta. Today, Canabrine's church is an important launching point for proselytizer and evangelists who come from the eastern continent to spread the teaching of the sacred flame. Okay. History of Totohaha. Eastern Solistia is dominated by an ocean dotted by countless islands of all shapes and sizes. The largest of these, Totahaha, which was first encountered by continental pioneers 20 years ago. In its western reaches resides the Beastlings, a petite people with fluffy tails. Okay. On the east of Totaha lies the town of Tropu-Hopu, which was established by the first continental pioneers to settle on the island. The harbor's town's proximity to New Delsta caused it to be developed as a resort for the wealthy. In addition, it produces many luxurious goods such as delicious coffee beans, and now serves as an important stop along the trade route between eastern and western continent. Since ancient times, the Beastlings have long referred to the northern of the two isles as Haha and the southern as Toto. However, ever since the local festival celebrating the bond of family and the prosperity of the entire Beastling race was established, the names of both islands have been combined into one, Totohaha. Interesting. History of the Bright Lands. Okay, Eastern Solistia is an urban region home to the continent's largest city, blessed by warm sunshine and pleasant climate. It soon became known as the Bright Lands. Agricultural abundance caused the region to flourish, and people flocked here in droves. Wealth soon followed, and development soon after. Before long, buildings like theaters and game parlors were erected to entertain the ever-growing crowd, and now the lights of the civilization shines as bright here as the sun does overhead. At the center of all this lies the Bright Lands' beating heart, New Delsta. Established approximately 50 years ago by immigrants from the former kingdom of Delstash, the people gave this new home a name that honored their old. Finally, in the east of these lands can be found Clockbank, an industrial center that has prospered ever since the Age of Discovery. Interesting. I don't know if we've gone to Clockbank, but oh my god. Okay, so just 3 more, and then potentially 3 more columns of the same amount. I might read all of it and then just call it a day. History of Crestland. Northeastern Celestial land of mountains and hills perched high atop one stony peak rises Alfric Cathedral, the center of the sacred flame, Fate. Adherent to this region, tenets have worshipped the sacred flame that the cathedral housed since times immemorial. An ancient record dates 1500 years ago, makes mention of the sacred flame's veneration continuing since the misty days of the past, even through the bitterly cold winter a century previous. The flame continued to warm the hearts and soul of all who visited. In both name and spirit, the sacred flame is, and its church are the divine lords of this land. At the base of the cathedral lies a small town of Flame Church. Though its population is small, the town folks make a good living providing for the crowds of pilgrims who travel here to visit the cathedral. Okay, history of Winterlands. Northern Celestia is a frozen place of snow and ice. Its capital is Stormhail, a mountainous city that houses the Sacred Guard. Established roughly 380 years ago, the Sacred Guards was the brainchild of the Archbishop Kinchler. After the cold snap that assailed the eastern continent in the previous century, the order established its headquarters here. To this day, This holy organization mission remains unchanged to uphold law and order across the continent. It is said that Stormhill owes its existence to its guardian Glacis, residing on the sacred peak Altae. It is thought that Glacis put an end to the cold snap that nearly spelled doom for all whom lived here. Travel towards the coast, and you will find the fishing town of Cape Cold. Great hauls of salmon, trout, mackerel, squid, and more are brought in almost daily. In addition, many who dwell here work in agriculture and textile, and lately a hardy species of cold-resistant barley has caused quite the stir. Alright, the outer continent. The farthest edge of the four corners of Celestia are detailed on no maps. Called the outer continent, the reason why these vast stretches remain unexplored are many. Impossibly high mountains and deadly currents, to name a few. Of course, in my opinion, it is less the difficulty of the task and more the indolence that has left these areas uncharted. Think about it for a moment. Ku is at war with some unnamed kingdom and kingdoms to its south. Immigrants from some unknown eastern local walk the street of New Destla. Immigrants from some unknown eastern locale walk the street of New Delsta. Fruits from the west and textiles from the north are smuggled into our lands with abandon. The unknown is a place of magical appeal to me. What sights are there to be seen across the horizon? What strange music, what surprising smells, what fascinating spices and cuisine to tempt the taste buds. All of these drawn my curiosity, but more than that, all offer unimaginable opportunities for a merchant with business savvy and a healthy wanderlust. I hope the leaders of our lands will quickly to pen maps of these mysterious lands in the outer continent. A poor name for a universe of possibilities. We are prisoners in a tiny cave called Celestia, satisfied by shadow cast by a light that streams in from outside the walls which confine us. That is quite beautiful. Alright, that's 1, 2, 3. There's so much to read here. Oh my god. Okay, so there's 2 here. There's 2 here. Okay, why not? History of grapes and plums. Grapes, delicious grapes. They heal the body while the tart juice of the plum revitalizes the spirit. These 2 restorative fruits are ubiquitous. I can never say this word right, but anyways, throughout the world. Yet there is a darker side to these innocuous seeming treats. According to some myths, their cultivation was forbidden to man by the gods themselves. There are many tales why, but 2 stands out above all else. Firstly, the devilish liquid called liquor can be easily made from their juice, and the gods do not look with favor on those who drown themselves in drink. The second most widespread story states that they were prohibited because of how easily they could be turned to use as tools of war. Whichever of these myths may be true, it seems that humanity has broken a sacred promise with the divine. Interesting. Lychees. The lychee, a succulent fruit from the outer continent that activates the latent power of an individual. Though its beneficial effects are well documented, it is equally well known for the difficulty of its cultivation. Many talented farmers and merchants have tried their hands at raising crops of lychee over the years, but none of their efforts have borne fruit. Meanwhile, a baseless rumor has long made the rounds in the cultivation community. According to some, the lychee must drink the blood of humans to produce its yield. This sinister story has been the cause of many tragedies, as unscrupulous fools seek to write their fortunes in their victims' blood. Because of this, the lychee has earned itself an unpalatable appellations, the vampire's fruit. That is messed up. Nut cultivation. Nuts, nuts, nuts. The fruits of certain trees with a hard shell concealing nutrient-rich meat and seed within. Nuts are enjoyed the world around as foodstuff. However, not all nuts are created equal. Those harvested from some wild trees have powerful effects that are proven to enhance human ability. Scholars have classified these as rare nuts and have poured blood, sweat, and tears into cracking the secret to cultivating these precious products. Yet little progress has been made. It seems the moment that cultivation is attempted, the nuts lose their special properties. The mystery remains unsolved, and so these nuts remain a highly sought after and prized commodity. I mean, that makes sense. On concoctions. Concoctions is a process by which two or more materials are mixed together to craft medicine. Legend states that it was Daughter the Charitable who bestowed this holy art upon humanity. Yet the truth is more impressive by far. Generations of healers have, through trial and error, discerned the medical effects of plants, seeds, stones, and more. They mixed, brewed, and ultimately tested their concoctions upon themselves, a testament to humanity's bravery and sacrifice in its pursuit of knowledge. Concoctions, however, is not simply knowledge of ingredients' properties. No, a skilled apothecary must know how to judge a patient's symptoms and measure the correct amount to treat their ills. As such, any apothecary able to simultaneously mix 3 ingredients is a master of their craft, and any who can mix 4 can be considered a genius. Though it is not impossible to mix more than this number, this monumental feat is almost unheard of. Interesting. So far we've only done 2, right? But they're saying 3, 4, and possibly 5. Are apothecaries overpowered in this game? Principle of the Soul Stones. Soul Stones are items which, when subjected to a significant enough physical shock, can unleash effect equivalent to certain spells. Though the exact process by which this occurs remains a mystery, it has long been hypothesized that they are stones that have been imbued with the power of spirits. Recent studies, however, have given rise to a new theory that have been gaining traction among the learned. According to this theory, soul stones are the crystallized remains of a magically potent monster corpse. If this theory is true, it may become possible for us to artificially mass-produce mighty soul stones in the not-too-distant future. The question then becomes, to what use will we put this power once it is in our hands? Though I am excited by the possibility, I also find myself terrified of them in equal measures. Kinda like AI is for a lot of people. Herbs and their use. There are many afflictions which can plague a patient, and each requires a very specific herbal remedy. Confusingly enough, the herb used to treat all of the standard gamut of ailments is the same, herbweed. This useful herb effects can vary greatly depending on how it is prepared. Taken in one sense, it shows how precious this medicinal plant is. Taken in another, it shows just how simple the human body's makeup can be. As a side note, herbweed can also be used to add a bit of a zest to cuisine. How grand. Not only can it speed someone along the road to recovery, but it can speed them to the dinner table as well. That's pretty funny. Origin of bottling. In the arid desert lands of Hinouma, having a good water bottle can mean the difference between life and death. To better store and preserve every last drop of a precious liquid, the people poured much effort into perfecting the art of bottle crafting. Among all the many types of bottle, those crafted by a small Reckon clan are the finest. Manufactured through secret methods, they are unmatched in their lightweight constructions and durable frames. Unfortunately for the Reckon clan, their monopolization of these secrets earned them the ire and jealousy of other clans, eventually sparking a bloody conflict. Nevertheless, what the Reckon clan lacked in military strength, they made up for in brutal cunning. Their victory became assured after they hit upon the idea of filling their bottles with poison and flinging them at their enemies. It was thus that the defensive martial art known as bottling was born. Interesting. Beastling foodways. Beastling are tenacious hunters known to stalk their quarries for days on end. Their vocation requires not just skills at tracking and feeling beasts, though, but at preserving the meat of their prey as well. Okay, the earliest developed method of preservation were simple. Salting and drying are easy and effective. Eventually, however, tired of the same old fare, they were those who sought tastier techniques. Lava steaming, salt water tenderization, underground fermentation, all of these and more were passed down among the beastlings, and over the century this led to the development of unique culinary cultures. Nowadays, in the kitchen of New Delhi, most fashionable bistros, famed chefs find inspiration in the beastlings' innovative methods. Okay. Etymology of leaf as currency name. Herbweed, a miraculous plant required to craft every variety of healing herbs. Its discovery revolutionized medicine and has saved innumerable lives, earning it the epithet, the plant of the gods. Unfortunately, herbweed is notoriously difficult to cultivate and only grows natively in a few limited regions. Because of this, as the apothecary art advanced, so too did the value and rarity of this irreplaceable ingredient. Eventually, this caused the price to spiral out of control. To curb this growing problem, various lands put ministers and lords in charge of overseeing herbweed production and trade, and soon the price of each precious leaf was fixed. This stability eventually led merchants and commoners and nobles alike to begin using leaves in place of other currencies. Disputable though this is, it is widely believed that the origin of leaf as common parlance for currency originated from this time. Interesting. Alright, finish number 2. Weapon smiting. There exist only 6 primary weapons categories: sword, pole arm, daggers, axe, bows, and staves. Actually, this is not an accurate statement. Bound by the rules of the Blacksmith Guild, the manufacturing of weapons outside these 6 categories is strictly forbidden. While limit I don't want to get up to get water, but I really need water. Anyways, I'll see if I can how far I can last. Bound by the rules of the Blacksmith Guild, the manufacturing a weapon outside these 6 categories is strictly forbidden. Why limit the scope of human imagination? Religion, of course. The 6 weapon types are those wielded by the gods, and they will tolerate no other. Or at least that's the lie disguising the greedy truth. The fact is, it's much easier to monopolize the material and technique for arms production if you can limit what can be made. Or so a little bird told me. Anyways, whatever the truth is, this prohibition has resulted in very few wielders of whip, flail, and so on. Interesting. Enchanted and magical weapons. Among the many weapons one may find in this world, some are imbued with magical properties. These enchanted weapons are both rare and powerful. There are 2 primary means of crafting an enchanted weapon. The first sounds simple in principle, but in fact quite difficult to achieve. Few craftsmen possess the necessary skills. Simply put, magic must be carefully folded into the weapon during the forging process. Second method is much rarer and harder to replicate. These enchanted weapons gain their power naturally, their magic imbued over the many years of use by a gifted wielder. Very few of these have been documented, and it is thought that only those with incredible powerful wills can make these miraculous weapons spring into being. I really hope that we're reading this and some of these things actually happen in the game, but we'll see. On ornamentation. What is ornamentation? Literally interpreted, it refers to ornaments worn for fashion, like a big floppy garish hat. This assumption is a common one, but it is in fact erroneous. The truth of the matter is that true ornamentation refers only to special jewels crafted by dedicated sacred craftsmen. Only a handful of leaders are permitted to wear these ornamentations, partially because many of them are imbued with unique magical properties. Prime example would be an amulet that protects against offensive magic, or a necklace that greatly increases the ability of its wearer. Unfortunately, the knowledge and technique needed to craft these potent relics are slowly being lost, and their rarity is only bound to increase as the sands of time continues to fall. Okay. Battle-tested armaments. To the victor goes the spoil. A long-standing tradition adhered by those who live by the sword. The stronger takes from the strong, until at last the day comes when the ultimate warrior and ultimate weapon are united. When a weapon has triumphed over countless foes, remaining undefeated in the hands of a skilled wielder, it becomes what is known as battle-tested armament. Nowhere is it written that these armament must be a masterwork weapon crafted by a renowned smith. No, these weapons are forged in the fires of battle. As they taste the blood of innumerable mighty warriors, they awaken to a greater power that dwarfs that of their humble origins. That sounds more myth than anything. Divine weapons in Arms Master. In times of war, the gods entrusted humanity with 6 divine weapons so that they could protect themselves from evil. The Conqueror's sword, the Warlord's spear, the Dancer's blade, the Lionheart's axe, the Hunter's bow, and the Spirit Lord's staff. It is said that each of these weapons house incredible power, and that those who can unlock it will earn themselves the title of Arms Master. And yet, the divine weapon were too mighty for humankind. Driven by greed and ambition, the Arms Masters soon began to quarrel among themselves. One by one, these artifacts were lost, and with them the skills and knowledge needed to wield them. Still, there are some who remember. Among these learned few, it is thought that the rightful heir to the secret of these weapons still reside in this land, passing their knowledge down to generations of chosen successors. Of course, this is more likely than not just an empty fantasy. I'm glad I'm reading this stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. The demi-humans, a study. Demi-humans are creatures that resemble humans and yet are entirely different beasts. There are 8 major types currently known. The verminous ratkin, the reptilian lizardman, the avian, the avian virgins, the amphibian frogins, the simian apes, and the subterranean moles, the feline kate, and the cephalopodon octopus puffs. Demi-humans have displayed a propensity for much higher levels of intelligence than monsters, and are known to employ tools to some extent in their daily lives. And yet, to this day, their origins remain shrouded in mystery. According to the histories, they simply appeared one day as if by magic throughout the world. Okay, on Kates. Kates are skittish race, the most timid of all the demi-humans. According to myths, there was once a great war fought between humanity and the demi-humans. The conflict was long and bloody, but in the end, humanity emerged the victor. Throughout wisdom and foresight, the Kate alone sided with humankind during the strife, and this alliance won them a place within human society. Unfortunately, the clever and cunning nature of the Kate soon earned them the ire of their neighbors, and before long they found themselves ostracized and cast out, labeled as traitors by demi-human and human society. The Kate withdrew from both to pursue isolated lives hidden away from all who might do them harm. The smell of beloved delicious catnip seems to be the only thing that can draw them out of the hidden places they call their homes. Catnip, huh? All about octopuffs. Octopuffs are the most independent of all the demi-humans and are the only ones that chose not to participate in the mythological war between humanity and the demi-humans. They are known to prefer travel to battle, and it is said that they only stop their wandering when their time on this earth is over. There are many superstitions surrounding the octopuff. Their passion for travel and idealistic search for paradise has led some believe they are symbols of good fortune. There are even rumors that only those pure of heart can encounter them. Of course, adults who have long ago lost the innocence of childhood can still employ cunning to improve their odds of encountering these rare creatures. Octopuff favors small dark spaces, so the shrewd use octopus pods to draw them out. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've had a few Kates. I'm not sure about octopuffs. Riddles of the demi-humans. All demi-humans possess a certain modicum of intelligence. For example, ratkin are known to steal and employ human weaponry and clothing, and Birdian possess the ability to craft primitive stone axes, and yet a burning question remains unanswered. Who fabricated the crowns and other ornaments that the demi-human leader are often seen wearing? As far as we know, the demi-humans do not possess the technology or art to craft such intricate accessories. More curious yet, both the make and material of these ornaments are clearly not a human design. So where did they come from? Where, for what matter, did the demi-humans themselves come from? This is merely a theory without any evidence to support it, but perhaps these strange creatures hail from another world entirely. Most likely, the Great Wall in myth and legend. Guarding the town of Stormhail in the Winterlands is the Great Wall, a colossal construction that has long kept the town safe from external threats. A local legend states this massive fortification was raised in a single night by the gods themselves, sturdy and strong, yet intricate in its design. It is clear that this wall is indeed a feat of engineering beyond what modern civilization is capable of. The legend of this wall continues thus: the Great Wall is merely one small segment of some greater fortress, and the central citadel itself lies deep underground. Many archaeologists have spent years attempting to uncover this hidden redoubt to no avail. More curious is the event that occurred some 820 years ago. An enormous cavity suddenly appeared in the Great Wall, though none know who created it and how. Later given the name of the Pit of Darkness, it was the catalyst for a conflict between the fallen kingdom of Shal and Delstash. This struggle would later be known as the War of the Great Wall. Okay, I have no idea what that's about. Gate to the Netherworld. The poet Kay penned this passage some 100 years ago. On an island lost in the sea splits twins lies a portal to an alien plane. Beware, be warned. Ye fools who approach, for none should draw near. This gates uncroach. When Kay first published this passage, it was assumed this island was a mere figment, the product of the poet's overactive imagination. However, in recent years, Kay's less well-known history as an adventure has come to light, and scholars have begun to debate whether his poem were not fantasy, but in fact the annals of his travels. A warning for you who reads this entry. Though the existence of a portal to an alien plane seems preposterous, we must remember that what seems impossible yesterday becomes common sense tomorrow. Sneer at what you don't understand at your own peril, for one day you may find yourself on the wrong side of the truth. Damn, that's deep. Alright, I think I went through all of it. That's insane. Yep, I went through all of it. That's one heck of a read. I think basically half of this video is just me reading. It was definitely interesting. There's a lot of things in there that I hope actually we get to see in the game in some way or another. But only time will tell, right? I'm going to call this the end of the session. I need to get some water, maybe take a little break and then jump back in. But in any case, if you made it this far, you know what to do. Hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll catch you guys in the next session. Thanks for watching.